Hey, I'm Cameron, founder of Goast.ai, and I wanted to show you a real example of how I'm using Ghost. There's been so much hype around AI tools right now, especially in the dev space, so I wanted to give you an idea of what's really possible and how it's useful. So I just woke up, and this is really what happened to me in my morning. I got a notification of a backend error that happened a few hours ago, and I first went to Ghost to see if it picked it up and if it suggested a fix. Let's take a look. Has a stack trace. Here's the first step. It needs to ensure that this is always initialized to an array before it's used. This looks like it could be what I want. I'm not totally sure. This is related to code that I did change somewhat recently, but it's a little bit hard for me to tell. I'm going to actually just jump to the code and go to that part of the code and try to see what's going on. So there's a file to check, file query request. This is the line 504 where there was really an error. Files to look at, and yeah, okay, it looks like up here it's checking that it exists, but here it's being used when it potentially doesn't exist. And let me go back and see what it's trying to do here. So let's see. Okay, it's taking the files to look at map. If it exists, it maps it to the actual file name. Otherwise, it uses an empty array. And yeah, it looks like that's what it needs here. And yeah, it's what it's putting into this. So that looks right. Okay, cool. Let's see what's happening here. It's also checking required files exists. Let's see. Not here. Here it is. This one. But this one is set to something automatically, so that isn't right. We don't have a way of easily removing those things yet, but you can remove it in the pull request it creates. You can ask for a change, or I can go in here, and this is the same exception in our backend. I'm just gonna get rid of the step here. Okay. And then this test could be okay. I mean, I don't know if I really care. So I'll also just remove that. But yeah, here's the change, and it seems like what I want. So I'll create the pull request. And that looks right to me. So with that, I was able to narrow in quickly on what the actual issue was without having to really understand the stack trace or know what was going on. I could validate it, and now I just have a pull request which I can merge. And as you can see, it's not always perfect. Sometimes it works better than other times, but oftentimes it's very helpful just to narrow in, and it makes it a lot quicker to actually perform the fix. Thanks for watching.